me individually, I usually go to the locker room pretty early and get myself ready because I end up doing a lot of game day hair for the other kids on my team. I do a lot of braids and stuff. And as a team, we always put on like removable tattoos. And if we win, we like leave them on. And if we lose, we scrub them off in the shower after the game. I think my greatest accomplishment as an athlete is probably just like getting the opportunity to play here. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to end up playing in college, and just having the opportunity to be here and be at a really good school and be able to compete is probably my greatest accomplishment. I look up to a lot of people on my team here. They're all like really talented and obviously really smart too, but more than anyone I would say probably my sister. She and I have always been really close, and she's just always been someone I look up to. And she recently this summer played with the Israeli national lacrosse team, which I just think is something really cool, and she has always been that sort of influence on me, pushing me to be better. Right now, it's actually Jared Hayne, who's the new punt returner for the 49ers, who is just brought out of the Australian Rugby League. I've always been a really big 49ers fan because I'm from the Bay Area, and my dad and I had the opportunity to go to an exhibition game, and he's just so fast and athletic. It's really amazing to watch him play. When I'm really trying to focus, I definitely end up in McGill on the boat. I just like being at a table where I can spread out and somewhere where I know it's going to be really quiet. But if I'm studying in a group, I generally just find an open classroom in the INSC. My favorite memory at Haverford is probably just the whole day when we beat Gettysburg last season. We kind of started in the locker room. One of the girls wrote a pregame speech that she modeled after the Gettysburg Address, and it just got us really pumped up. And then obviously beating them was incredible. It was their first loss to a Centennial team other than Franklin and Marshall in quite a few years. And it was called one of the biggest upsets in Division III. And then that night, just getting to celebrate with the team, it was just a really good day. Probably my environmental anthropology class. I've always been really into environmental science, but taking it in an anthropology style class was something that allowed me to look at the environmental movement and its effects in the political and social context rather than just the scientific, which is what I've been used to seeing it. I'll probably declare a chemistry major this coming spring, and I've just always really liked science. I think of it as being very immediate and very present in sort of everyday life, and I think chemistry is kind of the root of science in a way. One of the fundamental ideas of biology is that life is chemistry, and there are just so many things that branch off of it. Pretty much I think all other types of science branch off of it in a way, and I just think that's so cool to kind of be at the root of what I consider this ever-present thing.